Welcome back to the Wise Woman's Garden. I'm Chris Hurst, and in this video we're going to be looking at all aspects of creating edible hedges. Hedges are complex structures with many trees and plants forming different layers. All of them live in harmony with each other. Every single element or plant of the hedge performs a different function, maybe many functions. And every function feeds into different elements. The whole of the hedge forms a living, breathing ecosystem of its own, not just the trees and plants of the hedgerow, but all the wildlife that calls it home as well. They are amazingly biodiverse, and when you create an edible hedge, every single element in that hedgerow can be edible. There are many wild species that are not only edible, they're also medicinal as well. Food really is your medicine. If you don't have room to grow full height trees, there are many other options that you can choose from. We've chosen soft fruit bushes to create our hedges for that very reason. Always start with the predominant species that you have chosen for your hedgerow. You'll find out why later on when we talk about creating an ecosystem. And if you want more information on the various individual species, you will find videos in our herbal apothecary section of the channel. We started by preparing the soil with the most miraculous tool that I've ever discovered. It's called a soil miller. The rear blade removes weeds like a hoe, whilst the front spikes crumbles the soil. And the fact that it operates on a roller makes it so fast. It's made by a company called Wolfgarten. We have no links with this company and don't receive any money from them, but I will leave a link in the comments for those that are interested. And what we've actually got today going in, we've got 2 honeyberries. Now, always check what the spacing is on the label of the plant. And this tells you that it grows to about 1.5 meters tall and has a spread of about 3 to 5 foot. So you need to plant them far enough apart to allow them their full spread. So the next challenge is getting the damn things out of the bag that they come in. And this isn't necessarily an advert for Wilko's, it just happens to be Wilko's are the most reasonably priced for buying your fruit bushes. And they are usually in lovely condition as well. So, trying to get the thing out of its little bag. So that is your honeyberry, how it comes, and you'll want to plant it to a depth so that your soil comes to the same area of your soil that's in the pot. You don't want it to come up and above, you certainly don't want it to come above any shoots that you've got, because otherwise it'll start to rot from the stem. So we'll take it out of its pot, upside down, supporting the plant between your fingers. Squidge your pots, and hey presto, you have a plant out. Now it's starting to get a little root bound, so to enable it to settle into its new home quickly, you want to just loosen a few of these roots off without breaking them if you can. And do that all the way round. They will find their own way. You see, you can see the length of root that you've got coming out there anyway. Now of course, if you're being pedantic about this, you'd have a tape measure with you and you'd measure how far in you want to go and how far apart they want to go. But if you've got a good eye for a 3-foot ruler, then something like that is going to be around about a 3 foot. Now the rest of the ones that I've got are gooseberries. Now the gooseberry tells you that, again, they grow to about the same height, but this one actually does go to about the same spread. Right, so we're about right, aren't we? That's lovely. That's about right. So if we go for the, I'll bring the fork and the spade down that one just easier. And the watering can. So now we need to create the hole for it. Minus the weed. So we dig a hole with a spade, not a fork. The forks don't work, the soil just falls through them. If you do go a bit too deep, you can always put a bit of soil back in. That is a bit too deep. So that wants to go back a bit more. That should be about right. So now, before you plant him, if you put loads of water in the bottom of your hole, and allow it to soak in. Trying to train the plant to do is to go and look for its own water. So if you always water it from the top, so it's always got water around it from the top, it's only going to put its roots out because it's always got water. So it'll only be shallow rooted. It won't withstand bad weather, blow over easily. And what you really want is the roots going right down, so that if you get drought, they've got the wetter levels of soil at the bottom, and they've also got the nutrients from the deeper layers as well. So once the soil has gone in, the water has gone in even, not the soil. That should be about right. So now we can pretend we're a rabbit and we're making a burrow. You can tell I used to teach my kids how to garden. We'll play at being rabbits and filling burrows in. And it wants to be nice and firm, so you want to firm him down all the way around, making sure you're not covering that important bit. So that's about the right. Now then, let's just give his... Sorry beetle, I'm about to step on your head. Give it a good firming in. So that is going to be nice and tight and firm there. And we'll just give it a bit of extra water, just to make sure it feels at home. Right, that's it. So I'm poking it in as close as I can to its main stem. it down a good few feet. And then just get a bit of jute because it's biodegradable. Put yourself a little lemon sauce. Just loosely tie him off because you're aiming at supporting him, not throttling him. So that is now held against the cane so that it's... So any animals that come through, any Mr. Foxes or blackbirds or magpies that come through, they're not going to be able to trample that down now. Your choice of main species will depend on what purpose you want your hedge to serve, your location and what soil you're on. The reason why you work with your main species first is that until you know what problems that species has, you can't work out which plants are going to be beneficial to it. We chose our main species because our soil is suitable for them. They're hardy plants and not going to be killed off by a frost, and they grow to round about the right height for us so that they won't cause problems with our neighbours' plots. Both gooseberries and honeyberries are exceedingly high in nutrients and very beneficial to health. We are using our hedges to provide an edge on either side of our plot. The main pest of gooseberries is the gooseberry sawfly, and gooseberry sawflies hate broadbeans. If you grow broadbeans amongst your gooseberries, sawflies won't come near them. The other advantages of broadbeans is that they can be grown as perennials and are therefore good for the soil. They may also help to fix nitrogen if you have the right type of bacteria in the soil. Plus, they contain many nutrients in their own right. Aphids are another pest that most soft fruits suffer from, and this is where calendula comes in. Calendula acts as a trap crop when it comes to aphids, who love the sticky resin that it exudes. Wherever you have calendula about, you will find the aphids all attached to the calendula and not to your other plants. There is so much about calendula. What isn't there to love about it? It attracts beneficial insect pollinators such as ladybugs, lacewings and hoverflies. It also protects the soil through its thick fibrous root, and as a living mulch, when it dies back, it puts biomass back into the soil. It is also edible and has fantastic medicinal qualities. Wild strawberries make a fantastic ground cover crop. They grow in clumps and they propagate themselves by not only sending runners out, but also through their rhizomes. Eventually they form a dense mat across the ground. Chives repel pests whenever they are brushed against or cut, but when they're in flower they also attract beneficial insects. Sprinkled over many dishes just before serving, from soups to salads, they add amazing flavour. Chives have a further use though, as an antifungal spray. Soak a cupful of chopped chives in a litre of boiling water and allow it to cool, then add a couple of drops of washing up liquid. Sprayed onto plants, it will deter powdery mildew and other fungal growths. We will no doubt add other herbs to the hedgerow, and we will also keep you up to date with how it's developing. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.